Hey everybody, it's me, Josh Ghillie,
And Josh Carlson.
and we are here to talk about the map in Burncycle. The map is a representation of the physical world in this game. You, as a bot, are going to be running around on this map, and you are going to be infiltrating the corporate headquarters of several different corporations. The map is a huge part of what's going on in Burncycle, so we wanted to take a video and specifically explain all the different mechanics at play out here on the map. But the first thing that I will mention, the first thing is that this is a prototype. So all of this art that you see on the map presently, we just want to call out that that is still very much in development. This is all placeholder 100%.
Yep, that's true.
With that said, let's kind of dive into how it works. Let's talk about the neoprene first of all, and how that setup works.
Yep. So right now, we're showing a setup where we have, this is actually 1mm neoprene, which we'll likely be upgrading. We're just trying out some different things on what feels the best, how the chips move within those areas. But yeah, we've laid out rooms. Every single room is its own piece that lays over the top of the perimeter of the building. And that creates your floor, and it immediately you see like your entrance points, where right now we have one through the lobby and we have a side entrance as well. That tells us, like what we have, what we're up against in terms of where we're going to be all funneling through to get into this building.
Now this map looks fairly carefully considered. Is this randomly generated? Is this called for somewhere?
No, it is called for. It's basically for Need Chain, which is one of the corporations. That level, first floor level, is dictated for you. It's all set up. You're setting it up based on your rulebook layout. But that's about where the planned stuff ends, because guards that are going to get populated are random. Your terminals that you're going to be accessing are cards that are random. Your bots, depending on your difficulty level, that you may be drawing your starting team of bots if you're at a higher difficulty, and so that creates a whole different perspective when you're kind of planning out how you're going to come at the first floor. And then your objective, probably the biggest thing about that first floor, is also random. So yeah, but you're going to engage with these rooms. You have to get in the building to do anything. So we're going to be traversing initially to a door, and already the guards are going to be moving within the building. You're going to see them and see their routes and kind of be able to anticipate where they're going. Some guards better than others. You'll be able to anticipate that. The basic idea is that you're trying to keep in mind your objective, and that might be taking you to a specific area of the building, or it might be something that involves the squad, and you're keeping that in mind, but you're also trying to get to these terminal access points, because those are what's going to give you opportunities to gain power and further or improve your bot.
I see a bunch of icons all over this map. I see, first of all, these on the base mat. What does that represent?
So those are your guard starting locations. So that's going to be any symbol that's showing on a floor needs to be populated. So we left one open so that you could see it, but there is a 2 and a 1 here. So we populated 2 guards, so a third guard would get placed at random on that space. And if you could change the orientation, because the green does matter.
There we go.
That tells you which way that guard is going to be headed. Yeah, and then the rounds go, like players are going to take their turns in sequence, and then the guards are all going to move on a final turn before the next round starts.
Sure. I see the safe zone here. I assume we're trying to get to the safe zone.
Yes, there's safe zones either in elevators or stairwells. And so once you've completed your objective, you're exiting the floor. Basically, you're trying to ascend to the next level of the building. Once you've made it to the 3rd floor or the top floor, that's when you're going to face off and try to gain access to the CEO's dwelling or chambers.
Yeah, got it. So there's a lot. I see these round holes for pegs that are representing doors. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So when you come up to a door, you're going to be faced with a keypad, and that keypad is represented by a card. That card gets flipped over, and you're going to be, depending on the floor that you're on, you're going to have something that you have to resolve. That may be an action token needed to be paid from the extra tokens that you have here that aren't in your burn cycle. That may be potentially an alarm that gets triggered, or the lock may just flat out jam, which would require you to not be able to, you wouldn't be able to get through that door until you've reset your burn cycle. So then you're faced with figuring out what else you do. Do you go for another entrance point, or do you, try to jump on the network for a while that resolves itself?
Sure.
But the holes are indicating whether you've unlocked that door or not. And so you would put a green peg in if you've unlocked that door once you resolve the keypad, and you're off and going.
So now in video 2, we talked about the burn cycle and how that works. We talked about how you're going to be drawing chips out of a bag randomly and slotting them in here. Your bot, the bot card that you have in your mat, is going to contribute, a certain variety of chips to put in your bag to help kind of tell you what the odds of drawing certain icons are. Another important piece of the game is that any room you are inside of also is going to, when you reboot or flush the burn cycle and draw it anew, rooms that you are in are also going to contribute specific actions. So let's say you have a bot party that is really, really lacking in physical icons. Well, by strategically placing one of your bots inside of the warehouse, for example, which contributes 2 physical icons, when you flush the burn cycle while one of your team members is inside of the warehouse, you're going to be able to draw 2 more physical chips and put them in your bag, increasing your odds of having some physical icons within your burn cycle.
Yep, and not only that, it will also be giving you extra icons that you will be able to use. Those action chips do matter, the extra ones that you, up to a degree. So yeah, that's a great point. The rooms that you stay in matters. Basically, what rooms you're in kind of leads to what types of actions you can perform. And so that's kind of thematic too, because if you're hanging out in the warehouse, then it's giving you more opportunities to perform physical actions.
Sure.
So yeah, that's how that works. The other icons that are in most rooms are your terminal access icons, and these are basically just serving as a note of whether or not you've accessed that terminal. In Burn Cycle, the building is we want it to feel like it's alive. It's almost like it's reacting to everything that you're doing. So when you come up and access this terminal, you're drawing a terminal access card, but you're also removing this chip completely. So now that terminal is not available to anyone else like it's done for the floor. So it's kind of a limited resource almost, and what you do with those, whether you go greedy and maybe just do like your power, or if you want to unlock doors with it, or it all depends on what you find within that terminal access.
Accessing terminals in the game serves as probably your most reliable source of good things, be it power for your bot, be it unlocking doors, finding out what's in other rooms without trekking all the way across the map, that kind of thing. And so terminals are a huge part of the game, and accessing the terminal in each room is going to be something that's very, very desirable. However, again, the longer you take on any floor to run around and grab all these terminals, you're going to continuously increase the odds that your threat is going to go up, making the game more difficult for you as you move forward.
The other aspect to each room is that when you enter it, or when you surveil it from a terminal, there's one option in there that will allow you to hack into the camera systems and actually surveil another room without having to go through the door. But in either case, you're rolling a room die, and that die is going to dictate certain aspects of that room. Whether there's potentially a guard in there, whether there's a crate that you can find and access, even things that are happening with the terminal itself. You might find that the terminal is broken, but a crate is left open in the room. Lots of different things.
Yeah, crates may yield things like equipment and mods as well. So finding a crate is a good thing. You're going to see on the board you have these icons that indicate that a guard may be in the room. You never know what kind of guard is in the room, or even sometimes if a guard is in the room, until you roll that room die. So you can either go barging in the door and just see what's up and hope for the best. Or, again, via other terminals in other rooms, you may be able to surveil other rooms and find out what's inside of it
Yep.
before you get in, which obviously helps you, make strategic decisions as a team.
Ultimately, the entire map is it kind of serves as one big distraction from your objective. Like, you have to constantly keep reminding yourself of why you're doing what you're doing, because it's very easy to get tantalized by like a terminal that's been upgraded to kind of a super access terminal, which grants you all options on the terminal access card for free. Things like that, where just you can't bypass that. So you're going to head over there, but that's in the opposite direction of your objective, potentially.
Right. So as we mentioned, the maps are, they're designed for you. They're not randomly generated. However, every corporation comes with unique rooms that you're only going to see when you infiltrate that specific corporation. And then each floor is laid out differently, and again, in a format that's escalating, where the danger and the difficulty is constantly escalating as you continue to progress through the game. That tension is always ramping up between the threat meter and the increased guard capability, maybe an increased number of guards, all that kind of thing. Again, the building is almost a character within itself in the game, constantly fighting back against you as it represents the CEO of that corporation trying to track you down and shut you down and keep you from accomplishing what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's maps. Or the map, I guess. The map in Burncycle.
Yep.
That's again in the full playthrough. We'll be showing how all of these mechanics start to come together and make for a fully playable game. But that tells you a little bit about all the crazy things that can happen to you as you wander around in the physical world with your bots and try to make it to the third floor. We'll be back with another video soon. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.